This isn't just about money, it's about who controls global trade, pricing power, and supply chains. What would happen if a group of major world economies decided to create a brand new currency, one backed by a tangible asset like gold? Well, stop wondering, because that's exactly what the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, plus their new members, are exploring right now. This isn't just a financial headline. It's a potential game changer for the entire global economy. Let's dive deep into what a BRICS gold-backed currency could mean, how it would work, and why it matters to you. First, a little background. For decades, the US dollar has been the world's primary reserve currency. This means international trade, from oil to coffee, is mostly priced and settled in dollars. This system, often called the petrodollar system, has given the United States significant economic leverage. However, countries within the BRICS alliance have been vocal about wanting to reduce their dependence on the dollar. They're seeking to create a more multipolar financial world, and a new common currency is a cornerstone of that vision. The idea gained serious traction in recent BRICS summits. The goal is to create a new settlement currency for trade between member nations. Think of it not as a replacement for the yuan, the rupee, or the ruble in your daily life, but as a wholesale currency for governments and large corporations to trade with each other. This would allow them to bypass the US dollar and the SWIFT system, especially in the face of economic sanctions or political tensions. So, how would it actually work? Let's fast forward and imagine it's 2025. The BRICS have officially launched their new currency. Let's call it the BRIC for simplicity. The core principle is that each BRIC unit would be backed by a basket of assets, with gold playing a starring role. This is a throwback to the old gold standard, where a currency's value was directly tied to a physical amount of gold. Why gold? Gold is universally recognized as a store of value. It's tangible, finite, and not controlled by any single government's printing press. By backing their new currency with gold, the BRICS nations would be signaling stability and trust. Unlike fiat currencies that can be devalued by inflation, a gold-backed currency promises a solid foundation. Now here's where it gets interesting. The BRIC wouldn't just be backed by gold. It would likely be a hybrid model, backed by a basket of commodities including oil, natural gas, and other precious metals, plus a selection of the member countries' own currencies. Let's say, for example, one BRIC unit is composed of 40% gold, 20% oil, and the rest split between the currencies of the member nations. This diversification would make the currency more stable and less susceptible to price swings in a single commodity. Let's jump to 2026, a year into the system. Articles in major financial journals might be analyzing the BRIC effect. We could see headlines like BRIC currency accounts for 15% of intra-alliance trade, dollar dependency drops. The analysis would show that member nations are increasingly holding BRICS in their foreign reserves instead of just US Treasury bonds. This shift, even if gradual, would start to chip away at the dollar's dominance. From an economic standpoint, this move is a masterclass in de-risking and strategic diversification. For years, countries like China and Russia have been stockpiling gold. In 2025, their central bank reports would likely show record high gold reserves. This isn't just about collecting shiny metal. It's about building the foundation for this new financial architecture. By pooling their gold and commodity resources, the BRICS nations create a collective economic gravity that is much larger than any single member. This new currency also creates a powerful incentive for other countries to join or trade with the BRICS bloc. Imagine you're a nation in Southeast Asia or Africa. If you trade heavily with China or India, being able to settle those trades in a stable, commodity-backed currency instead of the US dollar could be very attractive. It would offer a new level of financial sovereignty. Looking at the future perspective, the rollout of a BRICS currency wouldn't be an overnight revolution. It would be a slow, steady evolution. The dollar won't disappear. It's too deeply embedded in the global financial system. However, we would likely see the world moving from a unipolar currency system to a multipolar one. By 2030, the global financial landscape could look very different. We might have three major currency blocks: the US dollar bloc, the euro bloc, and the BRICS bloc. International businesses would need to manage their finances across these different systems. The price of gold would likely become even more important as a global benchmark of value. The biggest challenge for the BRICS will be trust and execution. Can these diverse nations, with their own economic interests and political systems, truly cooperate to manage a shared currency? The governance of the BRIC, how its value is set, how new units are issued, and how disputes are resolved will be critical. They'll need to create an institution as trusted as the Federal Reserve or the European Central Bank, which is a monumental task. However, the motivation is clearly there, the desire for a more balanced and equitable global order is a powerful driving force. The creation of a gold-backed currency is the most ambitious step yet in that direction. It represents a fundamental challenge to the post-World War II economic order and could redefine global power dynamics for decades to come. It's not just about money. It's about shifting the balance of power on the world stage. So, while we're not there yet, the plans are in motion. The pieces are being moved into place. The rise of a BRICS gold-backed currency is no longer a question of if, but when and how. Watching this unfold will be like watching history being written in real time. It's a development that every investor, business owner, and citizen should be paying close attention to. Thanks for watching, and if you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. See you in the next video.